Hi, this is Arthur from the Minute Review Show, and today is going to be a really short one because I want to focus on one specific item. And you know what that item is? It is pastrami. I wanted to always try Ben's Kosher Delicatessen. We always drive by that restaurant, but we never stop by, never tried their pastrami. We know how good pastrami can be. So what I did today was that I walked inside and I saw that they did have a takeout counter, which I was really happy about. So I went in there, picked up a half pound of their pastrami. There were a bunch of guys working behind the counter and I got my order. It was a bit expensive, but then again, most pastrami would be pretty costly. So yeah, it was okay. So what I'm going to do in this video is that I'm going to show you what their pastrami looks like and let you know what it tastes like. So check this out. We ordered about half a pound of pastrami. It came in this brown paper bag. No logo on it, just a simple brown paper bag. Let's see what's in here. Okay, they dropped the receipt in my bag and let's take a quick look. The pastrami costs $41.96 per pound. We ordered about, in terms of weight, 0.555 pounds of pastrami. So that came out to be about $23.29 plus $2.01 in tax. Adding both up, it's $25.30. Okay, next, let's open up the bag and check out what they have inside. When I bought the pastrami, they wrapped it up into this white paper. This is very traditional. Whenever you order sliced meats in New York City, you always get it wrapped up in this white paper, or sometimes like meat paper. Let's take a look here. They sliced it up in thin slices, wrapped in foil, and another piece of paper. So this is about half a pound of pastrami. Now, if you take a look at it, this is definitely the thin slice variety. And I still feel some of the warmness of the pastrami. I think what they probably did was that they took it out of their cooker and they sliced it. The way that it's so thin probably tells me that it was cut on a slicer, the ones that you just go back and forth. And that's how they cut this meat. You can see some of the spices on the outer bark of the pastrami from there. And the color is like a dull reddish color. You don't see that much many fat streaks here. This pastrami, and I'm sure with all the other pastramis, take a couple of days to make because they really have to brine this really well. What we're going to do is that we're going to add this pastrami into a sandwich. An interesting thing was that the guy behind the counter also offered us some mustard. And I said, yes, yeah, I definitely want some mustard. So they have this really nice spiced mustard. As you can see, there's lots of these little specks on the inside, probably the mustard seeds. So we're gonna put that into our sandwich. To make our sandwich, I have my own bread. And this particular bread is just a seed-tastic bread that we picked up at Aldi. Is nothing fancy. Normally, pastrami sandwiches are made with rye bread, but all we have is this wheat type of bread. So we're going to try it. It's probably going to taste similar, but without the fragrance of the rye bread. I think this should do well. Let's start to make our pastrami sandwich. I've taken 2 slices of the seeded bread, and I didn't toast it. I just let it come at room temperature. First thing that I'm going to do is that I'm going to add some of that delicious looking mustard. Now, I'm going to take a quick sniff of this mustard and see what it smells like. Oh my God, this is a very concentrated, has a very strong, sour-like smell to it. So I'm gonna take some of this and I'm going to put the mustard onto both slices of bread. Do this fairly quickly. Here we go, put it on both sides. Don't want to skimp on the mustard because this is the kind of stuff that can cut the heaviness or the grease of the pastrami. The next thing that I want to do is to actually take some of the pastrami and put it onto the sandwich. So these are cut nice and thin. So we'll just take some of that and just pile it onto our sandwich. And let's put a little more. It's still is still a bit warm. And you can see there's some of that greasiness to it. You know, after all, pastrami is made of beef. And let's put this together. So this is not a highly piled pastrami sandwich, but this is a very basic pastrami sandwich, and it'll give me a good idea as to what this pastrami would actually taste like. Now's the time to try the pastrami sandwich. And look at this. This looks like your conventional pastrami sandwich, but without the rye bread. I understand that. Rye bread actually does make a difference because it has that fragrance. So, but this should do well. Let's try this right now. Okay, look at the sandwich. Not too big. I didn't overstuff it. Let's try it. Immediately you taste that nice deep brine in the pastrami. Now, I have to say that is not the most juicy pastrami. You know, to make that a better judgment of that, why don't I try the pastrami without any bread? Okay. Now, this is very, very interesting. The pastrami, I feel, is not the type of pastrami like Caterers where when you squeeze it, you see some juice. This is actually sort of a more like a mid-level type of pastrami where they reserve some of that fat. Is not meant to be like overly fatty, which I think some people would prefer. But this particular type of pastrami, because there's less of that fat content in it, I think they did it right in the sense that it's made to be sliced thinly. And in New York City, there are many versions of pastrami that are designed to be cut thinly, not hand sliced. So this is that type of pastrami. Now, the flavor that I'm getting, now let's take another piece so that I can be sure. Okay, the flavor that I'm getting is unmistakably pastrami. The brine is not overly strong, is not overly salty either. You taste a very mild amount of that pepper bark on the outside. And not only that, the beefiness definitely comes through. To me, this particular pastrami isn't overly brined. It's not like, you know, the flavor of the brine is so strong that it just overwhelms you. It seems like a very well-balanced pastrami. And if I could imagine this sandwich being piled up probably with an entire inch of that pastrami, which I would assume that you would get if you were to eat in the restaurant, they would probably pile it high. It would be a totally different experience. So all in all, I think it's very good with a sandwich. Now, in terms of the mustard, let's try this one more time. Yeah, that mustard tastes exactly how it smells. There's that pungent flavor to it. There's a very nice aromatic sweetness to the smell too, the pungent and sweetness. So that pairs well with the pastrami. I also taste a little sweetness in that mustard, but all in all, if the pastrami was a little more oily, I think the mustard would go much better with it. To construct this sandwich, if I were to do it again, I would add less mustard because the pastrami isn't overly salty or overly oily. So to make the sandwich good, you have to put less mustard and you have to pile on a little more pastrami. But this is a good sandwich. Here's a closer look at the pastrami. So you can see that, yes, there's a nice glistening sheen of oil to it. So as I said before, it's not the most moist pastrami ever, but then again, I don't think that's the intention, to be the most moist pastrami. It's made to hold its shape and it's made to be tasty. So yeah, definitely a pastrami flavor and not overly flavored. It's right in the middle, not too extreme in flavors. So yeah, there's a very decent pastrami and the price I feel is pretty fair. So yeah, if you ever have a chance, go to Ben's Kosher Delicatessen and you should give it a try and see if you like it. I think it's very good in my book. Thanks for watching the Minute Review Show. If you would like more reviews just like this one, I travel all over New York City and Long Island, and I bring you restaurants and just food events. So check out my channel, subscribe, and also click the bell icon so you know when I post another video. Thank you so much, and I'll see you again.